In this fantasy world, a lone human hero leads the humans to victory against the demon lord. 3 months later, while the humans celebrate their victory, the subordinates of the defeated demon lord gather to determine who should be the next lord to lead them. Also known as the Empire, they decide to hold a tournament to see who among them should be talented enough to be the new demon king. In an unusual turn of events, a human man named Helck appears to join the tournament. In the preliminary rounds, the demon who organizes the tournament, whose name is Vermilio, pays special attention to this unknown man. Vermilio is a powerful demon, known as one of the 4 heavenly kings. She observes with her assistants that clearly a human should not have been allowed to join the tournament, since they are choosing their next demon king. But unfortunately, they set up the rules so that anyone can join. Unfortunately for Vermilio, due to the tournament rules, none of the organizers are allowed to attack the participants directly. And since Helck seems to be level 99 and very strong, it will not be easy for him to be defeated in the tournament. Vermilio decides she has to somehow sabotage or change the tournament format to get rid of Helck instead. However, when she tries to confuse the tournament by suddenly changing the competition to deck building with cards and giving Helck sabotaged cards, her plan backfires and Helck is able to successfully finish the challenge anyway. Meanwhile, Vermilio decides to send her servant Asta to the human realm to investigate Helck's origins. Asta, alongside her servant Ista, are able to work together to communicate whatever information Asta can find in the human world. A frustrated Vermilio then decides to take drastic action, and she goes undercover as Anne to sabotage Helck from further rounds of the competition. Since Helck keeps destroying the competition, Vermilio pretends to be a judge in a cooking round of the tournament so she can directly reduce his score and make him lose. Unfortunately for her, when Helck prepares his dessert, Vermilio has to taste it, and it is so amazing she can't help but give him a perfect score. This ends up sending Helck even further into the rounds, and he begins to interact with other contestants like the friendly Kenrose, who starts to idolize Helck, as well as the serious Hyura. Meanwhile, Asta reports back to Vermilio and her sister what she found in the human world, that Helck is actually a wanted criminal because he eliminated his brother, who was the human hero Klez that defeated the previous demon lord. Asta has also found something strange is going on in the human world, since whole towns of people have seemed to have disappeared. Next, the tournament goes through a horse race, and Vermilio attempts to sabotage Helck again by giving him a pathetic steed. She is angry that the crowd seems to cheer for him anyway, and her plan backfires when other participants like Hyura think that the tournament is becoming unfair for Helck. Meanwhile, Helck gives encouragement to his steed and manages to race by running alongside his mount instead of riding it. He eventually gets to the end and barely beats Kenrose to win the race. Outside of the tournament, trouble is brewing as nearby castles have come under attack by mysterious winged figures. This army of winged warriors have managed to defeat several demons, and another of the 4 generals, Azudra, comes to Vermilio with a suggestion. Since Vermilio is suspicious of Helck, they can use the final round of the tournament as a way to test him by putting the participants of the tournament against the winged warriors. Since the winged warriors seem to be allied with humanity, they can discover Helck's true intentions in battle. Before the final round, Vermilio in her Anne disguise reveals to the contestants that she will join them in battle against the winged warriors secretly to keep an eye on Helck. The 4 contestants, Helck, Hyura, Kenrose, and Dorsch, embark on their journey under Vermilio's watchful gaze. On the way, they are ambushed by monsters and Hyura becomes suspicious of Vermilio when she uses her powerful fire magic to help against them. Hyura tells Helck that she thinks that Anne is actually Vermilio, a demon general who is keeping an eye on them, but Vermilio denies it. On their way to the castle, they go through a passage full of monsters. A unique monster appears and Helck finally shows off his sword to fight it, since he has been using his fists up till now. When they finally get to the castle, Hyura tries to quickly ambush the leader so she can win the tournament before Helck can, but she miscalculates and loses her arm. The leader of the winged warriors reveals himself to be Edel, who seems to know Helck. Vermilio notes that somehow the humans have changed themselves through magic and have become much stronger. Edel explains that they have gone through an awakening process, and the humans will all grow stronger with more battles until they eventually become as powerful as the hero who defeated the former demon king. A worried Vermilio wonders if the Empire can survive against an army of humans that always grow stronger. Suddenly, Hyura ambushes Edel and is able to take out one of his wings. Meanwhile, Vermilio uses her fire magic and starts to take out the humans. But before Hyura can eliminate Edel, Helck stops her and warns her not to completely destroy the knights. An explosion happens and they all fall through the floor into the basement of the castle, where a gateway into the human world is becoming unstable. Dorsch attempts to use his barrier magic to protect them, but Vermilio ends up getting sucked into the gateway, and Helck follows behind her after trying to save her. The 2 of them end up on an abandoned island, and when Vermilio wakes up she sees that Helck has already made a base for them. Vermilio is suspicious of Helck, but starts to feel better when he doesn't attack her and seems to be friendly, even helping her fish for food. As they explore the island more, Vermilio finds out there is a village on the island that Helck has been helping as well. In addition, there seems to be ruins of a civilization. After the villagers throw them a welcoming party, Vermilio has a serious talk with Helck on why he is not antagonistic towards her. But Helck tells her that he is happy that the demons seem to accept him and that he wasn't thrown out of the tournament. He also tells her that the human world will no longer accept him and he has lost all of his friends. Meanwhile, back in the demon realm, Hyura, Kenrose, and Dorsch continue to fight the winged warriors as more humans arrive as reinforcements. Before they are overrun, the tournament organizers arrive alongside Azudra. Azudra attempts to negotiate with the humans, but they ignore him, forcing Azudra to use his power to defeat them all. Amazed by his powerful tree magic, he reveals that he is actually the weakest out of the 4 demon generals. Suddenly, arrows shoot out from the castle, eliminating all of the humans, as the winged warriors destroy all of their comrades who were captured. It is revealed that they all get resurrected anyway back in the human world, and with their awakening magic, they all get stronger the more they fight. Asta watches this process, as she sees a bunch of the human knights get resurrected by the human king and she tries to warn the others. After her report, Azudra tells the others that to stop the humans from going stronger they must tamper with the resurrection spell they are using by defeating the human king. They will need to do this soon, because eventually the humans will become too strong to defeat, and the empire is already stretched thin with other conflicts across the continent. Since they need Vermilio back, Azudra exhausts himself by creating a temporary gate on the ruins of the portal, and he sends magical items through to Vermilio to help her find a way back. But unfortunately, the items become lost when Piwi the talking bird eats them instead. Meanwhile, Vermilio and Helck await the arrival of a great witch who visits the village from time to time. They hope that the witch can help them escape the island, but they are not able to find her at the village. Instead, they approach the witch's house, and although it has a foreboding aura when they meet the witch, she seems willing to help them. She gives them advice on how to cross the ocean to get back to the continent, and that the key lies in catching a particular stag which will be important for navigating the treacherous waters. As Helck goes to find the stag, Vermilio interrogates the witch, but the witch only tells her to watch out for Helck. With the preparations complete, Vermilio and Helck find the stags and they prepare to set off for the continent. The villagers help them prepare the boat, and the residents of the island see them off. As they leave, Vermilio notices that Piwi has stowed away on their ship and he has a letter from the witch which gives Vermilio some advice. As they travel on the ship, they use the stag to help guide them through troublesome waters, but still they end up getting caught in a bad storm. Just as they attempt to escape the storm, the ship gets ambushed by a large sea monster. Helck tries to fight the octopus, but it's tough and can take a lot of hits. Eventually, Vermilio manages to free the boat from the whirlpool, but sadly, Helck gets pulled underwater. Vermilio makes it to the continent but feels sad about what happened to Helck. But when she steps onto shore, surprise, Helck is there, holding a sign with a goal written on it, which shocks Vermilio. She asks Helck to explain, and he says he broke free from the octopus and swam to shore. As they walk into a nearby forest, they're captured by barbarians working for the Errol kingdom. The princess of the kingdom scolds the barbarians and tells them to let them go. The barbarians explain that because of another group's actions, their kingdom is in trouble. The Tothmans, from that other group, show up and threaten to wipe out the Errol kingdom. Helck and Vermilio defend the kingdom and easily defeat the Tothman soldiers. Then, the Tothman king challenges them to a fight. He's beaten easily, but then he gets super angry and transforms into a much stronger being. Even though the Tothman king becomes much stronger, Helck and Vermilio still manage to beat him pretty easily. When he's defeated, everyone from Errol returns to their normal selves, breaking free from the spell the Tothman put on them. After celebrating their win, they head to a nearby town. In the new town, they find a map that could help them get back home, but the seller asks for a crazy high price. So, Vermilio and Helck have to get creative to scrape together the money. Helck enters a cooking competition, and narrowly beats the favorite, winning the big prize. With the map bought, they decide to keep moving toward the demon continent. But a local musician warns them that the path they're taking will lead them to a showdown with a dark warrior who might be able to eliminate them. After getting the map, the musician warns them about a dangerous warrior in the area they need to cross to go home. Helck and Vermilio keep going despite the risks, and meet the dark warrior. They fight, and for the first time, Helck gets badly hurt and Vermilio is almost beaten. Helck gets really angry and unleashes all his power, scaring Vermilio, but she manages to calm him down. They defeat the warrior, then head to some old ruins nearby. The warrior, whose real name is August, tells them his story. He explains that the kingdom he fought for brought dark warriors like him to fight a big threat, but they couldn't control them and ruin the kingdom. The musician they met earlier, Iris, turns out to be August's younger sister. She thanks them for defeating him and sings a final song. Then, August gives his weapon to Helck and moves on. Azudra and his troops successfully defend Urum Castle from the human army, and capture some human soldiers without harming them. Asta watches the defeated humans returning to their capital, and notices they're becoming stronger and more observant. Because of this, she has to be extra cautious. Meanwhile, Helck and Vermilio make camp. Helck reveals a broken sword called the Hero Killer and tells Vermilio she should use it to stop him if he loses control again. Vermilio doesn't want to take the blade, but Helck insists he'll explain his story and background first, and then she can decide what to do. And this is all for this video. Make sure to subscribe if you enjoyed it, and I will see you in the next one.